Night Summit, Dan Dibley, Mark Willard. I don't know why you're laughing.
3, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. The home of the Summit, Steiny. GetYourButtsOutHere.com.
Okay, see ya.
Hey, how hot is it? Willard, the street saying it's hot out there, fellas.
It's warm, but it's not uncomfortable at all. It's beautiful.
Right.
It's
Clear skies, Guru. I'll take it from here. Traffic on the Nimitz is backed up from Maui, but that weather, it's about clean 82, 3-mile-an-hour breeze out of the northwest. It's absolutely delightful to be out here, especially in the shade with a resplendent view of Fremont, Milpitas, and beyond.
And
I can't wait.
And this rooftop has some AC now, okay?
Oh, wow.
So not only everything Dibbs just said, but also air. So if you're hot and you're listening to 95.7 The Game, come join us because it's cool in here.
We're on our way, and we've just been making radio love here, having a great time talking about the Niners. But has this sunk in that football, the NFL, is back tomorrow night? I'm tingling.
I'm starting to tingle. That's one of the all-time early Guru drops. I'm starting to tingle. I'm
really
getting there,
am.
Guru. I think tomorrow when I lock in, and we get to 5:01, and I realize, Casey Schmidt. Oh, Schmidt, I have to get my Amazon in order because it's Thursday Night Football. That's when I'll get the real football adrenaline, and I'll get really excited about exactly what we're doing here coming up tomorrow.
Same. And no, it's definitely hit because my mind is already like carving out the path back to the car. Right. I went and worked out this morning so that I can hustle a little bit more because we'll get off that show at 6. And then you got to get somewhere. You got to get somewhere to watch this thing.
And then Friday, Willard, we got a game in Brazil.
Of course. We got a game Thursday and Friday and Sunday and Monday. And pretty soon it'll be all 7 days of the week. I have no doubt. 20-game schedule and 7 days of football. Book that. I'll take the under in 6.5 years.
Man.
Yeah, that's probably, depending on when the next collective bargaining agreement comes up, because the players aren't going to give into that until they know they're getting something back. And none of that, I don't believe, will get examined until the next CBA, which I think, if memory serves, is 2030. So 6.5 years, the under might be about right. But we're going to get there. And pretty soon, I believe it's going to be the Super Bowl on President's Day weekend anyway.
As it should be.
Which is going to be perfect for America, everybody's wanted for a long time.
Does that mean we'll have the Monday off after?
That's correct.
We won't. Yes, I sit next to, look. Win the big
he there?
days.
Well, if the Niners aren't
here.
If the Niners aren't
for us.
Hey, that's my
The Niners
guy.
have to be in the Super Bowl for us to work that day, I would think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if the Bucks are playing the Patriots, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out.
Tom Brady revenge game.
Exactly.
Can I tell you, I know it's about football, the Summit. We're on our way, crossing the Bay Bridge. We'll be there soon. I'm juiced. But can I tell you last night why I wanted to throw an egg at my partner if he were next to me? All day long, my man, I walk in, he talks about the Giants and their attendance, and I turned that bad boy on. And there was, come on, I was like, Steiny, miss me with this, man. Spoke, a picture's worth 1,000 words.
23,000.
Exactly.
There was not 23,000.
Well, first of all, there was not 23, and if there was 23, that represents their worst home crowd in about 4 years. Your best way to catch a fly ball last night was to dress as a seat. So, listen, the point that I'm so glad you brought that up, because the conversation we had yesterday, Steiny, is what it's actually about. Your facts that you had are facts, but I don't think that they're the ones that are going to matter in the end. I think it's now. The fact that September's here and the fan base started by sending a message last night that they have given up. They're done. They're done. They're absolutely done. I really think that's gonna land in the ownership office for sure.
Wow.
Well, it can land all at once, but until you exact some change, and the change may involve the president of baseball ops, because the baseball are not opping at a very high level. They are again around 500. They are again dull and, Steiny hates when I use this word, but I'm going to use it. They're flaccid, Steiny. They are flaccid. They're droopy, and that's not the kind of product. They're sagging, Steiny. If I can continue down this road until you interject, I've got 5 or 6 more. It's not what you want down there at 3rd and King.
No, not right now, but I think what we found out is that, what do you think, the season's 80% done?
It feels 101% down.
So for 80% of the season, when the Giants were scratching and clawing, they averaged 33,000 fans, and now fans are smart enough to realize, I don't think we're going to get it done. And so now, there may be a dip, which you expect from a team that's fallen out of it, but what a great 80%.
Yes. What a great 80%. We've had, actually, I would argue, the best weather summer that we've had in I don't know how many years.
Man.
Yeah, it's been gorgeous.
Heat wave.
And look, we've talked about this before. I'm someone who, in the middle of June or July, I can go have fun at a game, even if the Giants are in fourth place. But what matters is when the rubber hits the road, and that's this time of year. And so, look, I'm not saying this decision's going to get made or that decision's going to get made. I just think that what you're going to see this month is going to land with a thud on Greg Johnson's desk.
I
don't think that that's going to speak very well of where we're at. And, oh, by the way, the early returns on moving Marco from short to second, glove still doesn't work.
I'm almost feeling sorry for the kid. I'm like, that didn't just happen on my TV, did it? But I'll say this. You could call me jealous. You could call me envious. We watch baseball and what's going on in other cities. But right now, who are you coming to see in a Giant uniform, one? And then watching the Dodgers, who may not win it all, but they're blockbuster. Mookie Betts hitting a 3-run homer after the intentional walk to Ohtani. Yankees blew a game to Texas, but the question, guys, is when is that coming back to the Bay?
Well, it's going to have to be drafted or traded for, because it's pretty clear that your players who are free agents have not made this choice. And you could say Carlos Correa did, but they didn't close, and he moved on, and so did they. And Jung-Hoo Lee is exciting, but he doesn't bring that thump. And you watch the Yankees, and it's Aaron Judge chasing 60, and maybe he'll sniff 65, and it's just Shohei Ohtani doing his thing, and it makes it even more of a gut punch with each passing day.
I don't know how you guys feel. I think that the Eldridge thing is almost a trigger for people right now. Like the fact that go back to April and what people were at least hoping Giants baseball to be. If you had said then that on September 4th, the player people would be talking about the most is a guy who is a career 0 for 3 at AA. That's brutal.
That is brutal.
That is absolutely brutal, based on all the names they brought in, all the money that they spent, all the hope that was sitting there at the beginning of the season. For us to all be talking about Bryce Eldridge
and it's
right
desperate
now
too, Willard,
is brutal.
Hey, I'll say this. I don't know what mechanism about my personality gives this off, but I walk in this morning and Joe and Bonte are leaving, and I go, the Summit. And they go, Gooey, we know you're gunning for MVP. That hurt. I've never gunned for MVP, but early odds, Dib, who you have being the MVP tonight? Because Steiny's had it. I've never had it, but I'm not into that. I just want to have a good time with my pros.
You are you, and so because you are always a threat for MVP. I'm not one to talk when other people are talking, so you can take me out of it. It's not Warrior talk, so Steiny's not a factor. Willard tries to do his John Stockton. He'll distribute. Don't think he's a threat. Two-way Bonte, I don't think can go full flambe, especially with the Niners and NBC Sports just signing a recent extension of their partnership. So I think all arrows point toward Low Neal. Low Neal makes his appearance.
I thought he was going Shasky. Low Neal.
Well, Shasky.
It was a great setup, Goo, and I'll take a 4 for my setup. I pump fake myself.
I would pick Shasky, too, if he had any energy left. I don't know if you heard his Giants rant this morning. I'd be shocked if Joe's got a voice by the time he gets here at 4 o'clock.
He lives it, man.
That was some energy.
No doubt. He doesn't think they're going to make a run?
He don't want him to make a run. That's how hurt he is.
A run for the border, maybe, but not in the standings.
Okay.
Yeah. Steiner, you sound like you're saving up your energy right now.
Yeah, he's hanging in there.
I can see you yawning on YouTube.
Yawn too. Partner, that's my quarterback.
Yeah, you all right?
I had one fewer cup of coffee today, so that.
And also today is traditionally a golf day, so there is the emotional, depression of not having the 309 at Carica.
Well, you've also been holding down the fort here for 4 hours. I've been listening, Steiny, and you've been
look at it,
you've been going to battle with those anti-Shanahanigans.
They just don't get it, Mark. They just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Championships don't matter.
Well, hold on. Okay, Goo. Go
ahead, baby.
It's almost 2:00, so let me prepare to.
Bullets too.
No, I know, but let me challenge you on something because I heard, and this to me is where this conversation goes, where at least I get frustrated. Watch the cycle that happens. It's actually amazing. I wonder if Kyle ever pours himself a Manhattan, puts his feet up, and listens to the way we all do this. So you start with, Steiny, your point, great coach. Like, here's the playoff record. You get there every year, 4 and 5 years, all of that, right? And Goo, you respond with, I love, Steiny, your point of, has he ever lost a big game where he had the better quarterback? And Goo, you respond and go, isn't it his fault that he doesn't ever have the better quarterback? And then a caller will call in and go, of course Kyle Shanahan wins games. He's got all the good players. And I'm going, do you hear yourselves arguing at the same time that Kyle's to blame for what's not on his roster, but doesn't get credit for what is on his roster? And I'm sitting here going, I need to cut both my ears off.
Dude.
You're all arguing opposite points against one another, like everybody's got two sides of their mouth and we're all using
But
them.
Mark, fundamentally, I'm not looking at the quarterback as like that's some issue. I'm like, no, Brock Purdy was good enough to win that game, and I'm not blaming him. So when Steiny says who's got the bigger name, I get that, but I'm not looking at the Niner quarterback. Even with Garoppolo of, you're going in that game, you have no chance to win. I'm a guy that thinks the Niners should have 2 Super Bowl victories.
And I get that.
Foolish.
But at the same time.
It is foolish.
But what's embarrassing about losing to Patrick Mahomes?
Nothing.
In overtime. Well, it feels like that's what some people think. Kyle's a choke. He's embarrassed. He's embarrassing. And so that's my point. If you're going to point at him and go, whoever we've got at QB, that's your fault. Then
I am not using that word, right?
No, but I heard your first caller after you guys had this argument was very anti-Shanahan and goes, of course he wins. We got 5 of the top 30 players in the league.
Oh, I remember that.
If you're going to point to Kyle about who's the quarterback, then he gets all the credit for what they do have at all the other positions. You can't have both.